This is the RUP or RUP, R-U-P-P, Super Snow Sport. So let me give it a spin here, and I'm going to read from you a little bit of the history that I could find on it. It's kind of hard to find some history on this, but we'll read that. I'm going to give it a spin as you guys can take a look at it. And I'm hoping that's close enough and that's a good shot for you. I can back out the video a little bit. Okay. In 1969, in between 69 and 1970, RUP decided to build this Dragster Snowmobile. So what I have here is the world's first snowmobile dragster is the RUP or RUP Super Snow Sport, a 525 horsepower at 7,500 RPM, a 308 cubic inch racing research machine that is not for sale. Its top speed is estimated at 150 miles per hour, and braking is by disc brakes on the drive axle coupled with a cable release parachute. It was conceived by H.E. Mick Roop, 32-year-old president of his Ohio-based company, who has successfully raced at the Indy 500, at sprint and karting tracks all over the country, and on the Pylon circuit with his P-51 Mustang aircraft. The Super Snow Sport weighs 1,000 pounds and is valued in excess of $50,000, and that was in 1969, 1970. I also have it was a experimental machine, and they went through all that power and all 8,000 horsepower engine and all that, but it was discontinued, and the experiment was discontinued because it only reached the speed, a top speed of 95.5 miles per hour. So they discontinued the experiment. It is now in museum. I couldn't find out what museum it's in. It never raced. It was only experimented, tried, shot down the track to see what it could do and all that. Now this model is still available. You can buy this model. I'll put a picture up at the end of this video and show you what the box art looks like, because on the box art it has a picture of the real machine sitting on top of, it's sitting below the model of the machine on the box art. And it's a 120 scale. This is the size is 120 scale. So I'll put a link you can click on. You'll be able to see the box art, and you'll be able to see, you know, if you wanted to buy this kit and build it for yourself. So that's the history on it. It was an experimental snowmobile, Dragster Snowmobile, the first in the world ever made. And I thought it was pretty cool looking. And I had purchased this a while ago and built this a while ago. So let me pause this right now, and I can take off this top cover here. Put that to the side, which shows you, let me zoom in on that. It shows you the inside of the snowmobile with the rail that they use, like space age aluminum for the rail. inside, and the gas tank is done gold inside of here. I just happen to paint it gold, or that may be an oil tank, and then the gas tank I believe is up here, the fuel tank. So yeah, that's the inside. So you get a good look at that. Briefly, I can pick up, show you the side here. You can see the tracks, and underneath how the snowmobile tracks went. So yeah, this was something that was an experiment and shooting down the track of snow in 1969, 1970, and only really reached 95.5 miles an hour. They claim, you know, 150, but that's never been proven, and I can't find anything. That was just assumed. But the real test, when they did the real test, it only reached 95.5 miles an hour. So there we have it. That's the first build, which I'll be doing it a little bit different. This just happened to be already built. But yeah, that's the first Dragster Snowmobile ever made in history. And now that sport has changed significantly. You know, it's, you know, they got snowmobiles out now that are smaller than this, that don't have engines like that are going, you know, faster than what this did. So, there it is. Back in time to 1969, 1970. I was only 4 or 5 years old when they built this and when this experiment went on and it went down the track. So, that shows how long ago it was. You know, you'd be surprised when you think about that. 1969, 1970 was not that far away. I'm only 54 years old. So you're talking 5 years ago or 50 years ago. You know, that's not that far. That's not that long ago. So, okay, thanks for watching. Okay, real fast. Here is a picture of the Boxart. I figured it'd be easier to do this. You get a quick look rather than leaving a link. You can see the top is the model, but the bottom small little picture, you can see the guy sitting in the seat. That is the real machine. When it was test driven, when they drove it around and all that. So, this model is still available. You can find it online at MPC. It's usually going for anywhere, somewhere in the $20, in between $20 to $30 range. If you're interested in buying this, it's a nice kit, and it is something interesting to have in your collection if you like building models and you want to have some unique things in your collection. It's a nice historical thing. So, that's it. Okay. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.